Welcome to Gen X TrustFall, the podcast dedicated to planned and unplanned midlife changes and the ability to trust in the unknown. I'm Carla Loomis. In today's episode, I chatted with my good friend and fellow Chico State alum, Amy C., about our shared fondness for colonoscopies. Later, I spoke with Christina about her experience as a cancer survivor and the impact she is having on others in her community.
Great. How are you?
Good. So I'm calling you because I found out that a friend of mine who is over 50, I'm not going to say how many years over 50, but over 50. And as we know, you're supposed to get a colonoscopy at 50. And I
At
think
40,
at 40, really?
right?
I was 50. I was 50 when my doctor recommended it.
Oh, maybe 50. Okay.
I was 50 and
Huh.
no, I was like 51. I think I waited a year. And then they found some polyps, and so I had to go back in 5 years. So I got my second one like at 56. Anyway, this friend of mine has never gotten one. And I thought we should do like a public service announcement for everyone
Perfect.
who has put
Love it.
off getting their colonoscopy. And I think you're the only other person that I know who enjoys
Loves them.
a good colonoscopy.
I love them, and I know you know that.
So
Yes, I'm your girl.
I'm going to ask, so I would love for you to name your top 3 reasons why you love to get a colonoscopy.
Oh, okay. Well, first, I love the fact that the night before I have to drink that crap, which doesn't really bother me, but as soon as I drink it, my whole family wants to stay away from me, so I have peace and quiet for an entire evening.
That-
It's great.
Not what I thought you were
Number
going to
one.
say, but I love it. Okay.
And then number 2, I love that I'm losing weight, which is a horrible but a truth about me. And I think maybe many women, right? Like we love the idea of just getting it all out.
Yes.
Yeah, you're getting it all out. And then 3, and this is ridiculous. I mean, just to go there, feel nothing, and have a good sleep for I don't know how long I'm sleeping.
Yes.
And I'm going to even give you 4. And then when I wake up, the kind nurse delivers me white grapefruit juice in a little, children's, whatever, the little
Yeah.
box, a box grapefruit juice.
Yeah.
That's the only time I ever have white grapefruit juice. And some crackers, and I've never waited on it. And so the whole experience is an absolute delight.
I could not agree with
I'm
you
not
more.
kidding.
I know. I could not agree
Yeah,
with you more.
thank you.
Yeah. I feel
Right?
yes.
What do you like about it?
I cannot drink this. The stuff the night before is horrible. But I have to agree, like I get on that scale as soon as I can get off the toilet, hobble over to the scale and look at that number that has come down at least a couple pounds. And I'm so happy about that. And
Yes, agreed.
this morning I was thinking, this is a weird comparison, but I think you're going to get it. So I hate reusable straws, but I am trying to use them, but I hate them. I like plastic straws. I know it's bad and they kill a lot of turtles, but I love plastic straws. But anyway, I have a reusable straw with the cup, like the cup. And if I leave it, it gets really dirty inside. And so I found this little tiny brush where I can go in and clean the straw and make it look beautiful again. And that's how I feel when
You have a beautiful colon.
yes, like
It's gorgeous.
it's gorgeous. And I also think of Baby Alive. Did you ever have a Baby Alive when you were little? Like
I did.
the doll
And
that
now I'm
eats-
interested.
Yeah.
Yes.
So if you put food through it, it was really gross, right? Like, I don't know. My mom would not buy me one. She
Yeah.
actually gave me a baby, my little brother. I really wanted a Baby Alive, and instead she did it the hard way and she gave me a live baby. But
I'm sorry.
I know. She was like, absolutely, you'll never get that. That doll will never be in my house. She did not, I did not have one. However, I had a doll that you could pour like water through the mouth and it came out the butt. And that's what I think of when I'm like towards the end of my cleanse. It's just, yeah, it's beautiful.
It's great.
It is.
You're clean. Yeah.
I know. And
Yeah.
then,
And how do
yeah.
you feel about, do they serve you juice? My
You
favorite
know,
part.
I have to say that I am a little out of it when I wake up. Here's the second thing I love about that is I know I'm super funny when I'm going under. And I don't know
Oh, how?
because I heard people laughing at what I was saying. I don't remember what it was. But
Okay.
I remember
like
the
it.
nurse laughing. I hope it wasn't the joke about like telling the doctor, like, aren't you going to buy me dinner first? You know, like I know that a lot of people say that joke when they're going under.
You're better than that, Carla. Don't worry.
I do feel that I'm better than that. I think that joke is
You
way
are.
too overused and I can't remember, but I think I was funny. So I do like that before someone's going to go, you know, up that direction,
Get
I'm
your-
making them laugh.
yeah.
Yeah. And then the nurse told me that she was giving me the same stuff that Michael Jackson get. You know, he died from it, but
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was
But that's really
propofol or
propylene? No, propylene. Propane?
not propane, some drug. I believe it was propofol. And
Yeah, that makes sense.
I understand Michael Jackson's affinity for that drug because it's the best sleep that I ever get.
Yeah, it is. It's scary. And by the time you're having a colonoscopy at 50, you need that kind of sleep. You
Yes.
don't get it often, right?
No, you don't. Never.
Never. And so yeah, I agree. But, let's not push getting hooked on it.
No. But every 5 years, yes, please. Bring it on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, it's funny that we both love them, and you are the only other person I know that loves them, but I love them. And when I told you and you agreed, I was actually surprised.
It's lovely. It really is. And then someone has to drive you home. Like you can't drive. Oh, I couldn't drive.
Right. Oh no, I couldn't drive either. Yeah, the whole thing is just being taken care of at a time in your life where all you've done was take care of other people. Correct?
Yes, correct.
Love it. Love it.
And then my last one, I was still working. I was teaching. And so I worked with, I guess my boss, he was my age, but I took 2 days off for it because I was like, oh no, I mean, obviously I have to have that colonoscopy in the morning. So I have to take off a Thursday. I scheduled it for a Thursday and a Friday, a Thursday. And then I told him, yeah, I kind of had a bad reaction to my first one. So I probably need, Friday off as well, which I was fine by the evening. I did not need it. But I mean, when you think that you've been violated in that way, you do kind of need a day off, right?
You deserve one for sure. Yes.
Yeah.
You and the person who gave it to you both deserve one.
Yes. Yes.
You both deserve a day off.
I agree. So yeah, that was
right.
I loved taking 2 days off. And, I'm very open about everything. I'm probably too open about stuff, especially at work. And I just, remember telling my principal, like, oh yeah, I'm getting colonoscopy on Thursday, so I need Thursday and Friday off. He's like, say no more. Don't talk to me anymore about this. Please leave my office. That's fine.
Exactly. Approved to get out of here.
It was.
Would you like to hear about my period next? That's what you should have said.
I know. And that's that's one of the few things about having a male boss. They really don't want to hear that stuff. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, good. Yeah. In fact, you and I even talked about having a weight loss camp where we could have someone perform colonoscopies and use the medication. Because you said they gave you like a Valium or something, right?
Oh, yes. If I didn't mention that, I should have. But you asked me for three things, and there's so many that I like about it. I just you made me whittle it down because they also gave me a Valium to take the morning, and so I was, so I wasn't nervous, and so I woke up and popped a Valium. Something I've always wanted to say. I've always dreamed of saying because I don't know why it just sounds very 1950s, and I like it. I
Yeah,
woke up
yeah.
and popped a Valium. Yeah, and that, I mean, immediate relaxation. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. Thank you for reminding me. So I gave you 5 things, Carla, and if I was pushed, I could probably come up with more because the whole experience is great for me.
Yeah.
And I think everyone's remiss not to do it.
I agree.
Crazy.
Yes. And I think you just have to have, like a different mindset about it. The experience of getting the colonoscopy, I don't remember any of it. None of it.
Right.
I mean, I remember a little
Yeah, I mean,
pressure, but that's it.
I didn't even have that.
Yeah.
What you needed was a Valium beforehand.
Yes,
That just comes
amen.
right away,
I think I need to talk to my doctor about
right?
that. Yes, because I wasn't
Yeah.
even offered that. Not at
Yeah,
all.
no, get a Valium.
Okay.
Oh, and I want to actually tell you this and everyone this. I The second time I got it, I had a small container, much smaller container to drink, and I had to drink it 2 times in the evening and 1 time in the morning.
Uh-huh.
Is that what you had? Because also that was no problem. Or did
No.
you have the large
I
container?
had it felt like a Home Depot orange bucket. You know the orange buckets from Home
Yes,
Depot?
yes,
It
yes,
felt like that
yes.
I had to drink that, and it was like drinking the ocean. It was so salty. It was
Yep.
awful. However,
I had that one first. Yes.
okay. So
They've
maybe
already, I mean, I don't, 'cause I had mine, I had my second one. That's why I thought my first one was 40, but maybe not, like 5 years ago.
hmm,
58, 53. No, I don't know, but
yeah.
maybe 3 years ago. But now that I think of it, it's because I was having gas problems. Let's get that out on the table.
Well,
Let's
who
just talk about
doesn't,
that for a
Amy?
minute.
I mean, come on. We all have those.
Exactly. So I think that's why I had my second. Anyhow,
Huh.
and then the second time, they give you a much smaller container now, and to boot, and I know you're gonna think I'm ridiculous, but they tell you can like drink your white. I actually bought white grapefruit juice ahead of time because they said buy white grapefruit juice and drink it after you
I think
drink
you
this,
mean
and it was fine.
white grape juice.
I'm sorry, I do white grape juice.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
But yeah, so it's much easier to drink now too. So that's why the whole experience from start to finish is just fabulous.
I know. I agree.
And I should also say this. I don't typically love medical procedures, so
Yeah.
this is unusual,
Yeah.
right? Like I just don't, but this is unusual, but I do love it.
Yeah. And you're almost afraid to eat the next day. It's like getting a
The
brand new.
pristine colon.
Yes, like when you're a little kid and you have a coloring book and it's brand new and you're like, "Oh, I don't even want to color on this page." Like I'm going to ruin it now. It's so clean and
Okay, I
pretty.
was hungry. I was hungry. I wish I had that. I wish I had your need to keep my colon beautiful. I was hungry.
Well, I was too, and I
Not
did eat,
overly hungry.
I did eat, but it did cross my mind like, "Oh gosh. This is a
She's a beauty.
this is a brand new clean straw right now. Do I really want to drink out of it?"
Oh my God, you're so funny. Yeah, that butte. Should I really ruin that butte?
Well, well, thank you. I think we have convinced many, many people to have that fun day. That 2 days. I'm telling you, drag it out to 2 days because I mean, it sounds, especially if your boss is younger and does not know that you're fine.
True details.
Yes, like
Yeah.
which if you're our age, a lot of your bosses are younger now, right? Like a lot of people
Oh
have
yeah.
younger
No,
bosses than
most of
us
them.
and they don't
Yeah.
know. They think like, "Oh, colonoscopy, something's going in there," and all the way through like, "Yeah, you probably need 6 days off."
Sky's the limit. You tell them 5 days off, and if they read it and start negotiating, that's
Yeah.
what I say.
Go into detail about what they're going to do to your ass and then you're probably you're probably good for a few days.
As we're talking about all this, I'm thinking we could offer another service. You know how when you're in college and if you don't want to take a test, there are illegal people that go and take the test for you?
Yeah.
Just give me a call if you don't want to take your colonoscopy and I'll do it for you.
Oh my
I love
God.
them.
You're the ass substitute.
I mean, why not?
Why not? I know.
My name is Christy. I am 38 years old, and I currently have stage 4 ovarian cancer. I was diagnosed 2021, March, at 33 years old. And I had been having pain in the side of my stomach probably for like 2 years before that. And I always had it. It came and went, and I'd go to, urgent care, doctors on duty, like, there's something wrong with me. There's this pain that never goes away, or like it goes, but it always comes back and it's always there. And I just got dismissed so many times. Like, oh, take some ibuprofen, or, it's that time of the month, or you're a woman, or whatever, and I even told the doctor, I said, it feels like my ovary hurts. And she was like, your ovaries aren't even there. They're here. And I was looking at a chart on the wall, and I'm like, pretty sure they're where I think they are. But yeah, it was really hard to be dismissed for so long, because you have to trust your body and know that, if something isn't right,
And so did you start with, so you said you went to urgent care. Did you start with also like a family doctor or a general practitioner, or you went kind of right to?
No, I didn't have one. So our general doctor did work at urgent care in Monterey, but he retired. So I didn't have one. And, finally I woke up one day and my stomach hurt so bad that I was like, okay, this is ridiculous. And I went into the hospital. And I walked in the emergency room and I was like, there's something wrong with me. Like, you guys need to scan me.
Yeah.
Like, something's going on.
Yeah.
And then they took it a little more seriously. And then I was in there for like 11 hours and got CT scan and ultrasounds. And they ended up finding a 13 centimeter, like, baseball on my ovary.
Wow.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, makes sense. That's what hurt.
No kidding.
Yeah.
And so I did a little research before you came in, and that your story is exactly what this article talked about.
Really?
Exactly.
Really?
That ovarian cancer, especially in younger women, is often dismissed as, and exactly what you listed was listed. It's so interesting that everything is the same that you just listed. It's ovulation or whatever, digestive issues.
Maybe it's your appendix.
Right.
Maybe it's this, maybe it's that. And they don't take you seriously. And even if you go and do everything right, like you should, you go get a pap, they don't check your ovaries.
Yeah.
You don't ever get those checked.
Yeah.
Unless, you have a baby, or, unless you have symptoms, and those don't happen until you're much older.
Right, exactly. And I know that I don't know your experience with this. I'm guessing that when people are talking to you, they want to know, like, is there a family history, and is there this, right? Because I think human nature is to want to be like, oh, that won't happen to me because my mom didn't have it.
Yeah.
And
there's zero family history of ovarian cancer.
Yeah.
Nope. It's not genetic.
Right. So to me, I imagine that's probably also very frustrating too.
Yeah. I've had a doctor tell me, like, it's just bad luck. She's like, yeah, just, bad luck. Like, there's no rhyme or reason, really. I mean, a lot of it can stem from, like, having endometriosis. And I had really bad periods when I was younger. So that buildup, I guess, and I was never on birth control because I thought it was a bad thing to be on birth control. And then they tell me, no, you should be on birth control because it doesn't have so much buildup on your ovaries. You're not, relining yourself every month to have a baby. So it's like everything you thought you were doing that was good, all of a sudden isn't good now. And they kind of think that maybe that's why, like, because I did have a lot of endometriosis when they removed them, but yeah, there's really no like actual reason for my cancer.
Wow. Tell me about, yourself before, like after high school and kind of getting ready for adulthood and that experience.
Well, I moved out young. I moved out at 18. I moved to Huntington Beach, California, and I stayed out there for a few years. I had a ton of jobs. I worked for a cruise company, and I was traveling probably once a month to a different state. I did trade shows.
Oh, fun.
So it was super fun when I was younger. I had a great job, like I lived where I wanted to live, and circumstances happened, and I ended up moving back home, which is fine. And then I started working at the hotel, and I loved it. I worked there forever. I loved all my regulars, my coworkers. I had like 2 jobs probably most of my life, just I played softball, I golfed, I snowboarded every season, like normal in your 20s stuff. And yeah, so that was obviously a lot changed after.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was a normal, 20s.
Just
working
having
and,
fun.
Yeah,
and,
working, doing whatever I wanted.
And did you enjoy hospitality enough that maybe you saw like a future in or did you have other, aspirations for?
I think I was always that I went to college for a short time and I never knew what I wanted to do. So I was kind of like, all right, I'll do this for a little bit and then I'll decide. And then 15 years later, I was still at, doing what I was doing, but I loved it. I had my own schedule. I didn't hate going to work, and I always wondered, I can't do this when I'm older. Obviously, it was a physically demanding job, but I guess I wasn't thinking that far ahead yet. I was always like, oh, I'll do this a little longer. And then that's when when I was thinking about it, that's when I got sick, I guess.
Interesting. Yeah.
But if you asked me when I was 20 years old what I wanted to do, I probably would tell you, oh, I'm just going to be a mom. I'm going to take my kids to practice.
Yeah.
I just want to have a bunch of kids. I want land. I wanted all these things early 20s. But I never found someone that I was willing to have kids with, I guess.
Yeah.
So I kept, maybe I'll wait.
Sure.
It's fine. I have to find the right person, the right person. And then it was never the right person.
Yeah.
And then, 33, and then you're like, oh, ovarian cancer. My biggest fear ever was getting cancer. Ugh. Ever. And then my other biggest fear was not being able to have kids.
Right.
And then you get cancer and can't have kids all at the same time.
Yeah.
So that was really hard. But
yeah. I mean,
sorry.
That's okay. I mean, it's to come face to face with the 2 fears that you have.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And
all at once.
All at once. And this future that you thought, that's worth crying for.
Yeah.
That's a great reason to cry.
Yeah. But luckily for me, when I did get sick, they took my one ovary out, and I had the option to freeze my eggs. So luckily, I didn't have them both taken out at the same time.
Yeah.
So I took one out, and then I had a little bit of cancer in the other ovary as well. But because I got them out at certain times, I had a doctor tell me, I'm like, can I freeze my eggs? And he's like, yeah, we'll, set it up right after this and da-da-da-da. So super hopeful. And then I talked to the fertility place that he recommended, and they told me, well, no, we're not. You have cancer in that ovary. We're not going to do it. We're not going to risk it, spreading it, or because they have to stick a needle and then they pull it through.
Yeah.
So they're like, we don't do it. So then it was pure joy that I could do it to pure
Right.
It was a roller coaster all in one day. And then I called my doctor back, and I was bawling, and I'm like, he told me they can't do it. You told me I could.
Right.
And he's like, no, that's, not right. Let's find someone else. And then I did find a fertility clinic that was willing to do it if I was willing to do it. Mm-hmm. They're like, if she's okay with the risk, then we'll do it for her. So then it was back to oh my God, it was just the worst day. But luckily, yeah, I did get to freeze my eggs, and I froze. I got a lot of eggs. The doctor was like, we got more out of your one ovary than we do out of women multiple trials.
Yeah.
He's like, your ovary threw you on its back and gave you so many.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Yeah, because I worked every day during probably 2 years of treatment and all that.
Wow.
Yeah, I went to work.
And so were you doing chemotherapy
Yeah.
and radiation, or
No, just
chemotherapy?
chemotherapy.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So when they took my cancer out, they removed all my ovaries. It hadn't spread anywhere. They're like, okay, it was only in your ovaries. We're just going to do preventative 6 months chemo, and then that's all. You'll be fine. Never see you again.
Yeah.
So.
But you're still devastated because this is
To hear the word.
to hear the word at that
Yeah, just
age,
to hear the word.
for sure. And the thought of not having kids.
Yeah.
Right. So that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And yeah, I just thought, okay, this sucks. Like, all my hair fell out. You know, that sucked. And because when the doctor called me back to tell me that it was cancer, my first question is like, do I have to do chemotherapy? You know? And you're just like, and you see it on TV. You're like, oh my God, that's like the scariest thing in the world.
Yeah.
They look so sick.
Yeah.
And I think we've all been trained to fear that so much. And that was my first question. I have to do chemotherapy? And then I'm like, is my hair going to fall out?
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah. And I was like, that's when it sounds vain, but like, I started bawling, like, oh my God, I'm going to really, it's really happening.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm really going to go.
It's not something that's inside where I can't see it. It's
I'm going to look
now
sick.
be right.
Yeah.
It's going to be something that people can.
Is outward. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So once I got over the shock of that, and I did a cold capping where you can put this cap on your head during treatment, and it blows like freezing cold. Looks like that kind of blows freezing cold air into this cap, and it's super painful because it freezes your head, and it's supposed to block the chemo from getting to your hair follicles, so it's supposed to save your hair. But it's super painful, and it prolongs your treatment. Like, I was probably there for 9 hours.
In one day?
Mm-hmm. You have to go get your cap. You have to cool for probably an hour. Then they start your chemo. My chemo probably lasts 7 hours. They give you a steroid. They give you anti-nausea, all these different bags. And then you sit, and then the chemo takes about 5 hours to drain the bag. And then you'd have to cool after. So I was like the first one there and the last one to leave, always.
Wow.
Yeah, and then it didn't work. Well, some of my hair fell out anyways. But it does work for a lot of people. It just depends on who.
Oh my gosh.
So my last couple treatments, I'm like, I'm not putting that thing on my head. We're good. So I ended up shaving it.
Are you doing this by yourself? Is someone taking you? I mean, are you kind of you're still working this whole time.
Yeah.
So do people at work know that, like?
I did have to tell my job because I was having surgeries. And then you're out for 6 weeks because it's stomach surgeries.
Right.
So I had a lot of surgeries. I had a lot of biopsies. So my job did know. I didn't want to go back to work until I got a really good wig to where no one knew, you know, or no one would notice a difference. Because I work in a restaurant, so I have a lot of regulars that come, and I didn't want to be like, oh, what happened? Or, oh, I just wanted to look normal.
Right.
You know, so like no one noticed.
Right.
You know. And I didn't want it to be like a topic or
over their 4-course dinner.
Yeah, because it's a downer. Like, you know, like you want to come eat and have a good time. And I'm like, oh yeah, I have cancer. Oh yeah, that's why my hair is short. You know, I didn't want anyone to know. And I would tell the ones I was really close with, you know, and then sometimes, you know, people would be like, oh my gosh, where do you get your hair done? And I'm like, oh, well, it's not real, you know. And then sometimes I tell people, and it's totally how comfortable you are.
Yeah.
And I found the more you talk about it, the easier it is.
Yeah.
You know, and like you never know who else is struggling with something. Like when I got sick and I started telling people, the way that they would tell me something about them that they've been struggling with, like, blew my mind.
Yeah.
Because then they feel like you've opened up to them, and then it's like, I can share this with you. Like, I've actually been going through this. And then you're like, oh my gosh, you have no idea what people are going through.
Yeah.
I just wanted to look the same. And before I had my chemo done, luckily I got to go to an awesome eyebrow girl and tattooed my eyebrows on.
Wow.
So that, you know, because I was not going to be good at drawing them on. Yeah. I knew that.
So you lost your eyebrows, your
eyelashes,
everything.
I put fake eyelashes on every day. I'm worried about them falling in the food.
Yeah, yeah.
I lost everything. All my legs. It's kind of nice. I didn't have to shave my legs anymore. It was nice. So that part I miss, but...
Can you look back a little bit, like maybe to your childhood or to your past, and is there anything like, so I think back, it's interesting for me, like the rough parts of my life have been recently, not when I was a kid, not when I was, I think it was my perspective on it, because now I can look back and go, oh, that was really messed up, like what that person did to me, but it wasn't trauma for me at the time. So anyway, but I can look back at things that are happening, in the recent past and go, oh, that, like, this life event prepared me for that. Do you have any of those, like, moments from childhood or from your younger years where you go, oh, this is giving me, like, the resilience right now?
Yeah, I've had, like, my parents are a little older, so my grandparents were really old when I was young. And they all, old age got cancer and, but it never really directly affected me till I was in high school and my dad got cancer. And he had, like, stage 4 cancer. It was bad. Like, it was really scary for a while. We didn't know if he would make it, but watching him be on chemo and do all this stuff and totally, like, championed through it and did well and beat stage 4 cancer, and now he's 79 and, like, wow, fine, perfectly fine. So
that's amazing.
Me having that, like, getting cancer, it's like, at least I have my dad that, like, went through it, and like, it's made us much closer too. Like, he understands what it's like to hear the words and go through that. So I think having him and watching him be so tough about it and never complained, and it was really like, okay, he did it. I can do it too, Yeah. So I think that definitely helped. But then it also instilled the fear in us, like, Dad got cancer, like, are we going to get cancer? And then that kind of, like, made the fear, I guess. Because I've always had the fear, right? Because his is genetic, and, we're his kids, and, like, it's funny, I have a whole completely different one,
Yeah.
But,
like, you're wondering, is there a ticking time bomb in me? And so I'm wondering, like, as these people are telling you, like, you only have one viable ovary, we have to take or no, we can't use that. Like, do you feel a lot of compassion, or does it feel like they're telling you your car needs an oil, your car needs a new muffler or something? I mean, for the most part, was it a compassionate and...
Yeah, so, I mean, for the most part at the beginning, like, the doctor that first found my tumor, it was in an emergency room, and I was in Palm Springs. I wasn't even home.
Oh, gosh.
And he was like, we found a tumor, and I'm like, okay, well, let's get it out, That's obviously what it was, so I'm glad we found it, let's get it out. And he was like, well, there's hard matter in it, and he, like, dragged over a chair, and I was like, oh, that's never good, And he sat down, and he's like, it might be cancer, and I'm like, okay, well, let's get it out and find out, like, you don't know, right? And he's like, no, we won't know until we take it out. And I'm like, all right. And he's like, you're taking this pretty well. And I was like, well, I'm not going to freak out, hopefully, until I know.
Yeah.
And I think that's when they called and told me it's malignant, you have to do chemo. I think that's when I really broke down, like, oh, okay, now I know, So I tried not to worry about it too much. But he was super compassionate. And this is COVID. I'm alone.
Oh, gosh.
I did every surgery alone. My parents had to drop me off in the parking lot. I had to do treatment alone. And everyone had masks, and that's the whole, like, vaccination thing, like, oh my God, you're the compromised, and, so I was, like, prime COVID when I got cancer. It's, like, the worst time ever. But my parents, for the last 5 years, every chemo treatment, they have gone with me and sat in the car for 9 hours. They bring a lunch, and they sit in the car. And they're like, well, if you have to go through it, we have to go through it too.
Yeah.
So it's really sweet.
Yeah.
But...
So you have a very strong support system.
Yeah. And my doctors at the cancer center they're all so sweet. The nurses, my oncologist, you can tell he really cares. He hates the bad news. He's super awesome and sweet. But, like, your question, the medical side of it is very... let's kill the cancer, and it's kind of like, And you're so scared. You're like, yeah, okay, like whatever you say, I'll do, you know, because
Of course.
you just got the worst news ever, right? So you're like, you know, and you feel so helpless.
Right.
Like your life's in their hands and you have no control.
Right.
So at first it was like, I didn't even think of the holistic thing at first. You're just scared and you're like, okay, whatever I have to do. And everything happens really fast.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, you have to get surgery, then you have to, you know, do this, then you have to get on chemo right away. And like,
Right.
it goes really fast.
It feels probably like a race.
Yeah. And you're just like, you don't really have time to like process it all, you know, and
Or to research on your own.
oh yeah, no, you're just like, and they're like, you have to do this, this, and this. And you're just like scared. So
Right.
you're like, okay, you know? And I think with being sick for so long, because I was 9 months cancer free on my last 3-month scan, and they scan you every 3 months. And they're like, well, you can go to a 6-month scan now. And I'm like, let's do one more 3-month.
Yeah.
Just to be safe.
Yeah.
And luckily I did that because my cancer was on my liver. My cancer had come back, and it was on my liver, and it was in my lymph nodes in my stomach. So then it was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to do this all over again. Like, ugh, you know, so then I had to do it all over again. And then shrunk all the cancer on my liver, which was awesome, but my lymph nodes were not responding. So I'm like, can we just take them out? You know, like, do I need them there?
Yeah.
He's like, no, they're just in your stomach. Like, we can remove them. I'm like, let's just get them out.
Yeah.
So I had that surgery, and then for another 4 months, I was good. And then 2 more lymph nodes came back. So it was just like this, like,
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
like, and then I have to do it again, you know.
Yeah.
How
So you're
old are
hold-
you, like, during this time?
33, so got diagnosed, and then 6 months of chemo. So then I'm 34, 9 months after that. So then I'm 35. Yeah, and then pretty much 35 on, my cancer has never been gone. It's like shrunk or, you know, keep fighting. And I'm on chemo for like a year, like years. You know, I've been on chemo for the last 5 years.
Wow.
And
So are you in between right now? Are you doing it right now?
yeah,
You
I'm
are.
on it right now.
And so how often do you have to go?
So because my cancer always like moves and comes around and comes back, and it's in a different spot, and sometimes like my lymph nodes didn't respond to that chemo at all, so then you switch, you know, okay, let's try this one. So then this chemo brings new side effects and different things, and then different times. So this last chemo I was going I had a port in my chest. So they put the port in, and then my port had got infected because when I had it put in, so I've had 2 ports. I had one put in, and then after 9 months, they're like, oh, you're good, let's get your port out. And it's like, yay, I'm done, it's over. I get my port out.
Right.
And then I got sick again. I had to put my port back in. So then, unfortunately, who put it in had the glue mixed in with my wound. So it wasn't closing and healing. And I knew it felt different than the first
Yeah.
one. So I got an infection in my port, and I had to go to the hospital for 5 days and get antibiotics and get it removed. And then they had put a PICC line in my arm instead. And then I ended up being allergic to the tape. And I had blisters, and then, yeah, so I'm allergic to the adhesive of every medical tape. So then that was torturous because they have to change it once a week, and
Yeah.
they're putting tape over blisters, and it was
Yeah.
horrible. So my nurse is like, I'm done torturing you. She's like,
Yeah.
we're pulling that thing out. And she just pulled it out of my arm at the cancer center. And it was gnarly, but a good thing because that chemo wasn't doing anything.
Yeah.
It wasn't working. And I was on it for 6 months, and then I had a scan, and it didn't shrink anything. So then I had to switch to a different chemo, and then that was shrinking. And this was a really painful chemo, and I don't have a port anymore or another way in. So they're going through my hands every day, and it just feels like lava, like going through your arm. And I did that once a week, every Monday for 9 months. Every Monday, yeah. But that was just for 4 hours. So it's been a lot of...
Just for 4 hours,
Oh, come
lava
on.
going through your
Yeah.
veins. So what are you thinking about? I mean, the worst thing I've ever gone through pain-wise was birth.
Yeah.
Childbirth.
Yeah.
And so we're talking about completely different things.
Yeah.
How I remember, I'll just give you my, it's hard to explain for me, but at the worst pain, it was weird, but I could I felt like I was getting inside the pain. Like I was almost surrendering to it. I don't know how to explain that because I did it with no drugs. I did childbirth with no drugs. I did like a painkiller, but I didn't do an epidural or anything. And, but I remember like, it's so hard to explain, but
you just have to like embrace the pain.
Embracing it and just surrendering to it and being like, I can't explain it except getting inside of it. So what's your 4 hours is a long time.
Well, luckily that chemo was only 45 minutes of pain, the lava pain. Yeah. But you're there for 4 hours.
Yeah,
you have to get your labs done. And
okay, let's say 45 minutes.
But it was just like pure torture for 45 minutes.
That's a long time.
Yeah, they give you a heating pad that helps. So like I would just hold it on there the whole time.
Yeah.
And that pain, it started to get super annoying. And I think because I'm 4 years in, I'm just annoyed.
Yeah.
That I'm still doing this.
Yeah.
And that I started to just and then my veins in my hands were becoming valved, and they couldn't find veins anymore. And they're poking me 5 times, and I'm taking away from their job because they're over here messing with me, and there's other patients, and I feel bad.
That's their job. I know.
Yeah, but I feel horrible. Like I'm, the problem. Because I'm always the problem there. Like, this is infected, that's infected. It's always something with me. It's like a running joke. But, I was just getting over it. I was getting so annoyed. And then I told my doctor, I'm like, okay, we're coming up on another scan, right? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, can I just not do this for a week or 2? I'm over it. Mm-hmm. And he was like, yeah. He's like, I'm fine with that. Like, it's painful. Like, I know it's been a long time. I'm like, I just don't want to do it right now anymore, and I was at the first point where I could see why people stop.
Yeah.
Because you're thinking, how could you ever stop? Like, oh my God, like you could stop treatment? That's like, and when I told my parents, because I was on another drug along with chemo, probably like 3 years in, and that drug gave me rheumatoid arthritis from head to toe, and I couldn't walk. So I had a cane.
Yeah.
And I was so immobile and depressed, and and that's supposed to be keeping my cancer away.
Right.
It's autoimmune or immunotherapy, and it's this miracle. It works really well for everyone. And of course, like I'm the youngest that they've ever seen get this type of side effect. Mm-hmm. And I told my mom, I was like, I'm not doing it anymore. Mm-hmm. She's like, what? Oh my God, what do you mean? It's keeping your cancer away. I was like, Mom, I can't even get off the couch.
Yeah, your quality of life is not there.
I'm like, I'm sorry, but like, I know it's not what you want to hear, but I can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I get it, when people are over it.
Yeah.
But that's like, to go way back to your question, that's when like the holistic part really... Because my mom's always been like juicing, like, oh, let's juice, get you better. She's always like the juice man, like my whole life. Like, she's always kind of been into that. And then, so when I first got sick, I juiced a lot because that was just what we knew type of thing. I'd go to visit my brother. I'd bring the juicer with me. Like, it was like that.
Yeah.
I did it a lot. Yeah. And, so then you start reading more and more into like, okay, I'm already doing this stuff that I can't control, right? I can't control the chemo part.
Right.
What can I control? I can control what I eat. I can control my environment that I'm in. I'm going to try to do everything that I can do to make this better.
Yeah.
So that's when I stopped with like, I don't do Glade plugins anymore. I make my own laundry detergent. I switched my makeup over. Like, I do cotton clothing now. I got linen sheets. It's just you get in these wormholes.
Yeah.
Because you're like, oh, what causes cancer? Or what, and then you get, with Instagram and TikTok, and there's so many things.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, well, then this leads you to this. And then you see all these endocrine disruptors, and everything around you causes cancer. And it's just like... And I just slowly, it's so hard to stop getting things all at once and switch everything over all at once. But like first thing I did, I unplugged all my Glade plugins.
Right.
Because I totally had those. What do you do when you go like to a store? You pick up a candle and smell it.
Yeah.
We're trained to want things to smell good.
Yeah.
And
that's true.
And they're made from chemicals. Mm-hmm. So, and how would you know that it's bad, right?
if they're selling it, it must be fine.
Yeah, and
someone must have checked it.
Exactly. They're selling it to you, and, you go to buy a laundry detergent, you want the one that smells good.
Right.
And that's just how we're trained, and reading that's so bad, and then you turn to, like, food, and then you're like, oh my gosh, and then you turn to, what am I putting on my face every day, makeup, and then your shampoo, and then I just, like, everything is, like, killing me. Like, what is this?
Yeah.
So I got really, I'm like, I can change. These are all things I can change.
Right.
I'm going to try to be as clean as possible, and hopefully that helps.
Yeah.
And I can control that.
Yeah.
So it kind of gives you a control that you can.
Which is so important.
Yeah. But it is overwhelming because it's just everything is bad.
Yeah.
Everything is bad.
Yeah.
And things you would never know. You go to Target to buy deodorant and you pick up one off.
Right.
Dove, Secret.
Right.
Because why not? But yeah, my doctor that I had, my primary, super awesome, loved him. He helped me get all my great surgeons and doctors. But at this point, I just got a scan back a couple months ago. And my cancer has spread because it was just these 2 lymph nodes. They weren't shrinking. They weren't going away. And he's like, we can't keep taking them out. You've had so many surgeries. And to hear that it had spread, and for him to show me the 2 side-by-side scans, one had like 2 little red dots where the cancer was. And then the second scan was like my whole stomach was a red blur. And he's like, it's, spread to a lot of your lymph nodes in your abdomen, and it's in your collarbone. And I'm like, what the heck? Okay. So I've never got that bad of news on a scan. It's always like, okay, it's shrinking.
Yeah.
Or it's still there.
Yeah.
Hasn't gotten bigger. But I've never had, like, devastating news on a scan.
Right.
Except the first time when it came back.
Yeah.
But this last scan was my worst scan. And I'm like, I just felt like a kick in the gut. Like, dang, like, even all this stuff I'm doing, what's the point?
Yeah.
Why am I doing all this stuff,
Yeah.
And that kind of kicked me in the butt to even kind of go with my gut, and kicked me in the butt to find what I need. And I think what I needed was a different type of doctor for me as a person. Like, I still love all my cancer doctors,
Sure.
and, but I needed someone to understand me as a whole person. So I found a DO doctor. He's, like, trained in natural healing, and went and had a meet and greet with him, and he was just like, I was like, I have cancer, I have a whole cancer team, but I feel like I'm a whole person, and I need to make sure I'm okay.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, definitely, like, you need a lot of vitamin D3. Are you taking high doses? I'm like, yeah, I take a high dose every day. And he's like, you sitting in the sun? And I was like, yeah, every day. He's like, yeah, from 12 to 2 is the best time. You get the most vitamin. And he's telling me all these things, and I'm like, is there a doctor telling me, like, to sit in the sun? And he's like, are you taking turkey tail mushrooms? And are you doing all these things that I do?
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, good. And I'm like, well, the first time ever I felt validated, and, like, because I would tell my doctors, I'm like, oh, I'm doing this. They're like, we don't really know about that. Or you can do that. It's not going to hurt. It was never like, I always kind of felt like weird. Or they like, I'm the weird one with all these, like, holistic things I wanted to do.
Right.
But to hear a doctor, like, hear me and validate me, I left there, like, bawling, crying.
Yeah.
Like, I
Out
just
of relief and hope.
Hope.
Yeah.
So from getting kicked down to my, like, scan, like, dang, I might not make it through this, to, like, okay, well, here's someone who's, like, telling me I'm on the right track, and just keep going. And,
hope is it's the most important thing. I'm so glad that you could find that with somebody.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. I mean, because like you said, like, to be validated, and again, kind of what I saw in TV, and what this article basically was saying was, like, you have to look at the whole person, mentally, not just physically, because it's easy to do scans, and I mean, we have all this technology now, but how do you still give that person hope?
Yeah.
After all this terrible news.
And to make sure that, I mean, chemo really beats your immune system down.
Yeah.
And, I couldn't get off the couch. I was so tired all the time. And I just Googled, like, why I'm on this drug. Why am I so tired? Like, I get it.
Yeah.
But And then I found out that my steroid I was on was depleting my vitamin D. So I went and asked for a vitamin D test.
Yeah.
I asked for it.
Yeah, but none of your doctors told you that
No.
that was a side effect of it.
No. So then, I get my results and I bring it back. They're like, I don't know how you're standing up. You have the lowest vitamin D I've ever seen.
Wow.
And it's like, how do you expect me to heal and not have my cancer come back all the time if I'm not, like, healthy?
Exactly.
So why not try to make me as healthy as possible?
Right.
To try and fight this.
That's right.
And it's just like I needed that other half.
Yeah.
And luckily, finally, I feel like, because you're doing this stuff blind. I'm doing all this stuff.
Right.
But, like, you see all these different things on Instagram and how they cured their cancer and all these testimonials and everyone's different and I did this and, so I'm trying, if there's anything that's known to cure cancer, I've tried it.
Yeah.
I've done it.
Yeah.
And
medically you're talking about.
No, like holistically.
Holistically.
Yeah. Because I've been trying it the last couple years, you know? Like, it's all natural. What do I have to lose?
Yeah. Yeah.
If it makes me a little bit healthier, fine.
Yeah.
And if it works, awesome.
Exactly.
So, I think it's a really important thing, and it does give you the control of your own body a little bit of what you can have.
Yeah. And I think that's the...
And it's all mental.
Yeah.
It's so mental. Like, and I do have friends, unfortunately, that have cancer my age. And
that you met through this process?
No, that I've known.
So you didn't meet them at the hospital or anything like that, just...
No, my age with different cancers. And we started a young adults with cancer group just to have someone our age to relate to.
Yeah.
Because mostly, it is older people that have cancer in the groups, and the only thing you really have in common is cancer.
Right.
So you don't really, their kids are grown up or they have grandkids, but when you're in your 30s and you're married or you have a boyfriend and you have little kids or don't have kids or dating, and your hair is falling out, and now I can't have kids naturally. Who's gonna want to date? You know what I mean?
Right.
It's just all these.
Right.
So we thought it would be nice to have, and unfortunately there's enough young people to make a group, which is disheartening, but we started this young adults that we meet at the hospital once a month and just kind of like vent to each other.
And probably share,
Yeah.
okay, I tried this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's nice.
That
That's awesome. Yeah. And I got sick first before my friends. So I'm like, go get your eyebrows tattooed on. You don't have chemo yet? Go get them on. Or like, go get this wig. Because I'm like, researched every wig possible.
Yeah.
So I'm like, these are really good wig,
Yeah.
And it's kind of nice because, I enjoy helping them at least and making things a little bit easier.
Yeah.
Not as scary. And like, okay, this is going to happen, but this is totally a good thing to go and do.
Right. You're a huge resource that they wouldn't have ordinarily.
Yeah.
Or naturally.
And that I didn't have.
Right.
And it's like, if anything, it's like, if I can make their scary journey a little bit easier, like, this is what I did and it worked. I'm just sharing. You don't have to do it, obviously, but, it was a huge help for me, to do these things.
Yeah.
And then they choose to or not.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's kind of nice.
Well, and the question that I sent you, and what is your superpower?
No.
Helping people, I mean, that is so evident. Like, I think this is a great place to kind of, like, wrap this up because I can see, like, what a great resource you would be for other people. And you're not, like, minimizing what's happening to you, but you're also not wearing it like a, like a weight. Or, so I think, I don't know, but this is our first time we just met.
Yeah, definitely.
But,
well, my family tells me all the time, like, well, if we forget you're sick.
Yeah.
And I'm like in the back, like, hey, wait up, guys. I can't breathe over here. Like, I'm way back here. But they're like, oh, sorry, we forget you're sick all the time. And I'm like, no, still sick. Yeah.
But you don't wear that, and I don't know how else to explain it, but I can see that you would be such a great resource. Like, I could see you helping a ton of people that are going through similar, nobody's journey is the same, but through similar things. And, I know that they have I know that people going through that could always use another person to go, I've been there, and
it makes
I think it's
less scary.
Yeah.
Or to have someone to talk to about it at all. You have that in common.
Yeah.
Because it's not that common of a thing,
No.
And
No, and having it, like I said, like knowing somebody that has cancer is absolutely not the same thing as having it. And
hearing that you have cancer, I think, is just the worst. I think that makes everyone in the same category of devastation.
for that moment.
For that, and like, well, my cancer is not as bad as yours, or mine went away. I get my friends who, she had the exact same cancer as me. She did the preventative, hasn't come back in a year.
Yeah.
And then I'm afraid she looks at me like, oh my God, hers came back. Like, is mine going to come back?
Yeah.
And it's like, well, I don't have cancer anymore, or like, mine's gone. And I don't want it to be like, yours is less than mine or anything. You still had to hear the words. You still had to go do all the scary stuff. Getting hooked up to that chemo machine is pure fear.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what to expect.
Yeah.
So I think anyone that had the words told to them, I think we're just kind of all in the same, like, playing field. Unfortunately, mine has been a lot longer of a journey.
Right.
But it's still devastating just to hear the words, And right now I'm on pill form. I just switched.
Yeah.
So now I don't have to go.
Yeah.
But this one makes me so tired. More than they're all different.
Yeah.
Just as now I don't have to go, but now I have no energy.
Yeah.
So it's always a give and take.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's why I, like, my friend told me to do this podcast, and I was like, you know what? Okay, like, if I can help someone else, it's worth doing.
You are helping more people. You are helping people. I can tell you right now, just by having a support group. And if this podcast gets heard by anyone else,
which it will,
guarantee
it will.
Guarantee it's going to help people. And for sure, like, I didn't even need this question, what is your superpower? Like, I would have gotten that from you, talking to you, because
thanks.
That is your superpower and your purpose, I think, is to have that compassion and help people, and it's pretty incredible. So
yeah, I'll always talk about it. Like, I'm never not like, I'll talk about it. You want to know anything, I'm an open book.
Yeah.
If I can help you in any way. And it's like, just, you have to advocate for yourself, because you can't just, if you have to listen to your body and really advocate for yourself and listen, like, I know my body, and you have to listen to it, and you have to go. And just, if someone tells you and you're not satisfied with the answer, go to someone else.
Yeah.
Or go again, or do, like, if I hadn't done that, like, it would have gotten so much worse, I'm sure. Because it was
you
already,
probably wouldn't be here.
It was already huge.
Yeah.
So it's just like, and it's sad that you have to do that, but like, you have one body.
Right.
You have to take care of it.
My generation is so different than your generation, because you guys have almost always had information at your fingertips, and we relied on experts for everything. And if you had a MD after your name, you were an expert. And so what you guys have going for you is you have this huge world that you're used to looking for answers, or at least alternatives that we're not used to it, right?
Yeah.
So for us,
or you had to like read it in a book,
to
go find yourself.
Yes.
And
it could have been outdated, And so, I'm not ancient, but it's still questioning authority is still not, something that we were and I think for you guys, like, thank God you were born in this time, and that you have something in you that's, inspiring you to go, like, no, I'm not going to take that. Right. And not everybody has that.
Yeah, no. And it's not easy to do.
No, it's not.
Because they know best,
right.
Like, who am I to be like, yeah, no, I don't agree with that.
Yeah.
Or like, you have to have a blood transfusion, Christina, like your blood is so low. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
And they're like,
yeah.
What do you mean? And it's like, I don't want one.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, you need one. You don't have enough blood. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
And I raised my blood. And
Tell them how you raised your blood.
Well, when I told them I wasn't getting one, it was like you would have thought like the world ended.
And so you're talking to your doctors, a nurse?
I'm talking to like a phlebotomist that came.
Okay.
He came out and he's like really worried. Like, you need a blood transfusion. Like, your numbers are so low. Like, we need to do it today. And I'm like, no. And he's like, well, what do you mean no? And I'm like, I'm not going to do that. And he's like, I guess I'll go tell your doc. Like, no one's ever told him no before, I guess. So his face, I felt bad, but I was like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
And then he's like, well, what are you going to do? I was like, I'm going to go home and figure it out. And he's like, okay, well, I guess. He went and told my doctor, and he's like, okay, tell her to come back next week and we'll check it again.
Oh my gosh.
So I went home.
How
and
low was it, and where did you have to bring it up?
I was at an 8. And anything below a 10, I believe, you need to be transfused.
Wow.
And I was at an 8. And I went home, I looked it up, how to naturally raise your red blood count. And I did, for that week, the weirdest things you can think of to raise I ate chicken gizzards. I put okra in water and it turns to slime. I drank that because it raises your red count. So anything gross and weird I did for that week. And then I went back and they checked my blood, and my phlebotomist came running out with the sheet, and he's like, Christina, oh my God, like, your blood's up to a 10. Like, you don't need a transfusion anymore. I'm like, see, I told you. Like, I'm not doing that. He like high-fived me in the waiting room. Like, it was so cool.
Oh my gosh.
But, it's just, again, you have to advocate for yourself. A lot of people would be like, oh my God, okay. I need that.
Yeah.
But just stick to your guns with your own health.
Yeah.
And not anything against anyone who would say yes and because some people can't do that, or they really need one, or it's there for a reason. But me personally, it wasn't something I wanted. And so I raised it up. And if I didn't raise it up, maybe I'd have to reconsider.
Right.
But let me try.
Yeah.
And I'll try, and then if it doesn't work out, okay, I'll listen. Let me just try. So
Were you a stubborn little kid? Were you a stubborn little girl?
Probably, yeah.
I can see you.
I was the baby, and I was like kind of like born late. The big gap between my brothers and sisters. So I kind of like. Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, there's something to that, right? Like. Yeah.
So.
Well, I want to thank you for being like. Such a rock star, and you're a natural to be interviewed. So
thank you.
I hope that someone much more famous and more adept at this interview thing.
Well, it'll be you soon.
I hope that
remember me. Remember me as your first guest.
I hope that you get interviewed by someone, maybe Joe Rogan. I hope Joe Rogan.
Yeah, we can talk about
you.
ivermectin.
That's right.
That can be a whole nother show.
That's right. So I think you're a natural, and you would be great. And I can't thank you enough for coming here, all the way over here, and doing this, and really opening up, and I'm so happy to meet you.
Same. Yeah, thank you. I really appreciate it. This was fun.
And Charlotte, thank you for...
Thank you, Charlotte, for making me do this. Just kidding.
What's that called, Charlotte? The person that you get your drugs from? The plug.
Oh, yeah.
Charlotte's the plug.
Yeah, she is.
For my guests on my podcast.
Brian, get your mom.
No, Charlotte's the best. So I also did it for Charlotte.
Thank you for joining me on today's adventure. Special thanks to my guests Christina and Charlotte for the hookup, and Chico Girl Amy for sharing their thoughts, experiences, and time with me. If you like this episode or have a suggestion for a potential guest, please email me at gxtrustfall@gmail.com. Thanks again.